Hello and welcome to Ask Jackson. This is another episode of our talk, and today we have a very special guest with us in the studio. And I will be speaking with our pastor, a friend, and his name is Pastor Eddy Azanor. And he has been into the ministry for a very long time, and he has been working with young people. So today we'll be talking about the expectations in relationships. Pastor, welcome.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much for coming. Yeah, thank you so much. Pastor, as young people, we have different ideas when it comes to relationship. Everybody in the relationship expects something. If I want to have a spouse, I expect something from her. And likewise, the lady I will marry at last will also expect something from me. So I want to ask, is the expectation that we are looking forward to in a relationship, is it holistic or is it just spiritual? Because people tend to talk about the spiritual aspect and sometimes the physical aspect. Is it just physical or spiritual?
It varies from one person to another, but it shouldn't be lopsided. Okay, we are holistic creatures. We are spiritual beings. We are physical beings. We are emotional beings.
Yeah.
We are even sexual beings. So all of these are pointers. So if we are emotional beings, then we would want people who will not give us emotional stress.
Okay.
Like I said, these things vary from one person to another. Some people are more emotional than others. Okay, so in terms of expectations, there are the big ones that you are really those expectations that really matter to you. You should not turn a blind eye or sweep them under the carpet in the name of the spiritual. You should try to make sure that you put them into consideration because they matter to you. And if they matter to you, and if you sweep them under the carpet, all in the name of spirituality or something, you might live to regret that decision someday. I think that's why many counselors are saying, don't marry for pity, don't marry, because when you marry for pity, it's because perhaps she doesn't really fit, or he does not really fit what you want, what your expectations are. But out of sympathy or pity or something like that, you got married to the person. You're going to really not be happy about that decision.
With the comment you just made about not marrying out of pity or just marrying because you just think that the person is okay and let me just get married. This idea of getting married because you think time is going or time is running out, do you think it's also healthy for us to go into marriage or go into this serious relationship or just because we think time is running out?
Not at all. Some people get married hurriedly and they also get out. The rate of divorce right now is a serious indication that marriage is not something you rush into, even if age is not on your side. Anyway, it varies. It depends on your standard and all of that. What my best author, NY, says that in such matters, you should make haste slowly. So there is a balance there. Making haste slowly. You're making haste, but you're making it slowly. Okay, kind of balance. So we should all be balanced. We should make sure that we are not in a hurry, because it's like if you hurry in, you're likely to hurry out.
Now, with the issue of love, you have talked about us being sexual beings, being emotional beings, and we are people that want to interact. We are social beings, and at the same time we are spiritual beings. And you have talked about this idea of going into a relationship, or the expectations should be holistic, even though there are some pillars that should not be, we should not turn blind eyes to. Okay. Apart from that, I just want to ask: is it healthy for you to go into a relationship with someone who does not really love you? Like, let me give an example. Like, I've been chasing this young lady for some time, and I keep pressuring and I keep pressuring, and maybe she just gave in because she thinks since he's the only one coming, let me just. Do you think that is it healthy? He or she can be a male or female, just trying to
Vice versa.
dress up. Yeah.
It's not healthy at all. Sometimes as young people, we spend our time pursuing someone that's not really interested in us. And then somehow they may give in. It happens. And other people may pressure them to give in. Or they may do it as just to fulfill a social obligation. Like a marriage is something that is like a requirement. Let me fulfill it. And like you said, this is the guy that's really coming, and it looks like it looks as if he really loves me. So let me go for it. It's good if you love her, and we should love those we go for. We should never go for somebody we don't love.
Okay.
We should check our hearts. But on the other hand, she shouldn't be someone who is not really interested in you either. She shouldn't be someone who is not interested in who you are and in what you do, because she's not going to fit your world. Let me put it that way. She's not going to fit your world. She's just going to marry you, or he, like we said, is vice versa. There are men who get married just to say, okay, I'm married now, and then that's fulfilled, and they go and live the kind of life they want to live. They have their wives, their wife at home, but they do other things outside. That's a man who just got married to fulfill all righteousness.
Yeah.
Okay, we shouldn't fall into that trap. It's going to be frustrating because you're going to know it, and you're going to see that this lady is not really into what I'm into. Whereas, the scripture says she should be a helpmeet. In other words, she should be able to complement you in some ways. Yes, complement you in some ways, and that's exactly what you should put into consideration.
All right. Now, still on the issue, I just want to know, because if we look at it, it means that the person also has to be your friend.
Of course.
Can we say that?
Many strangers are getting married today, and it's disastrous.
So the person has to actually know you to some extent.
Yes, you shouldn't marry someone you don't know to an extent. You shouldn't. This, maybe you went to a camp meeting, you saw a beautiful girl, she sang well, and that's all you know about her. That's not the person to. And then you exchange number, you give a call after 3 months, you say you want to get married. You might be running into something dangerous.
Okay, let me point this out. Okay, we have had situations, and young people have kept asking me this question and saying, Jackson, how do you see the idea of going into a relationship and then people get to spoil it for you? What is the place of other people's opinion when it comes to choosing a life partner? How do you draw the balance?
It's very important. Sometimes young people tend to kind of fend off anybody who wants to say something regarding who they are dating. Let me use that word. But it's not wise to turn a deaf ear to such concepts.
Okay.
So the grown-ups around us, the good ones, okay, your parents can be trusted because they want good. They may not have the same mindset as you do. You may not listen to them in every respect but they sure do have some wisdom to share.
Wow.
They do. And some good grown-ups around you, they can be frank with you, and they can see what you are not seeing. when you are emotionally high, your reasoning powers are kind of really low.
Okay.
And that's true.
Okay.
Reason and emotion do not go together. So when you say you are in love and you are on an emotional high and you're not seeing anything, so these trusted individuals should be allowed. You should open your mind. Should be allowed to make their input, and then it will be left for you to weigh, and then make a decision.
So you're saying that when we are in a relationship and it's serious, we should at least have some people around to guide us. Now, we have been talking about this idea of loving and then being in a relationship and then guiding and all that. Now, I want to also us to look at this idea, because there's young people asking me, am I old enough to go into a relationship? And they are still like in secondary school, they are still about just maybe getting into a higher institution. What is the right time to go into a relationship, and what should be the reason why we should be in a relationship?
If it's too early, it's not too good.
Okay, now my question is, what if I am 25 and I'm still not ready to get married? Should I still go into a relationship? Or let me say I am 25 or I'm 26, I'm 27 and there's no job, I am not even stable, I'm still staying with my parents. Am I still eligible to go into a relationship?
No. This long dating of a thing, it's not the right thing to do. It's fraught with a lot of evils, and some people date for 10 years. What's that? It should not be very long. But you can take some time to know yourselves, or not very long. And it all depends on what you call dating, And dating when you say dating, it means different things to different people.
Okay.
But the definition I want to go by is just that you guys are friends, and then nothing is yet cast in stone. You've not really crossed the line and say, this is the one I want to get married to. So if you are a friend to different people in that sense, that's okay. But you cannot be promising two people at the same time. That's quite dangerous. Then indices will be there that we say you are ready. So you have to be emotionally mature. You have to be financially okay. You have to be spiritually mature and all of that. These are the things. Some people can be 30 and they are not spiritually mature and they're not fit for marriage. In fact, not everybody should get married.
That's a strong one. That's really a strong one.
It's very strong. Because a lady who cannot raise a child should not get married. Or she should not give birth to children that she cannot take care of.
It's a good point. But I just want to see, is there a fundamental reason why we should go into a relationship? Because people have often asked me, they said, Jackson, and I often tell them, I said, if you are not ready to get married, if you know that this person that you want to go into a relationship with is someone that you cannot get married to, then why go into a relationship with that person? What do you say about that?
It's a sin to know in your heart that you don't want to get married to a person and still go into a relationship with the person. I'm talking from a Christian perspective, and that would be playing with somebody's emotion and all of that, and it can be devastating, and that should not be done by anybody who has conscience and who is a child of God.
So thank you so much, Pastor. I hope you have learned something today, because the idea that is in the society today, we cannot really put our hands on and say, as Christians, we can follow this. There are so many rules. There are people saying all kinds of things. But I want you to understand that when it comes to the idea of a relationship, it's not something you rush into. Pastor made a very strong statement, and he said, make haste slowly. You are going forward, but slowly. So please Be careful, seek advice, don't just keep quiet. Don't make it so secretive. You know, some of us just want to just hide it there. Don't hide it, because you will make mistakes and you keep hiding and hiding and hiding. So there are sometimes you have to come out so that others can help you in the community of faith to grow. I pray that God will bless you even as you continue to subscribe to our channel, and also like this video, share with other people, and I pray that God will bless you in Jesus' name. God bless you. Thank you.